Yo, 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 welcome to Smoke Room Sports Talk. I'm your host, King Blizzy, the Quarter Block King. And today, of course, you know you're in the smoke room. We're going to talk divisional round of the playoffs. Dion Sanders going to Dallas. NFL versus NBA. And Angel Reese. Let's kick things off with the divisional round of playoffs. As you can see down there on the ticker, I'll give you the scores of games. Uh, Chiefs Texans 23-14 Chiefs with a win. Who thought something different? Come on now. That's Patty Mahomes. I expected a closer game, but I still think that there's some growing that CJ Stroud has to do as a young quarterback. And then he was hit by a lot of injuries this year. So the injury bug it's one thing you ain't going to defeat is injuries. And also today we had a shocker. The Washington Commanders with an upset win, 45-31 over the Detroit Lions. It's not really an upset win. For me personally, I felt as though this was the climax of Detroit's year on the fact when they made the NFC Championship, not this season, but the past season, I felt like that was a Cinderella story for them. They weren't supposed to get that far. They barely were supposed to make the playoffs. A lot of people ain't had them doing what they did. So for them to make the playoffs and go to the championship game, that just raised the bar so high for this year for them that I don't think even without the injuries, if they would have had a healthy roster, I don't think that they would have went back to the championship game. But they had a hell of a year. They got a hell of a coach. So now maybe next year I do see them going to the NFC Championship game next year. Man, let's talk about the Eagles locker room. I'm a devout Eagles fan. And I will say it will be locker room quarrels that'll stop us from winning it all this year. Because it's all falling into play. Teams are eliminating themselves left and right. The teams that I thought stood a chance at beating us are gone. We beat them. We beat Green Bay already. And Washington just took care of Detroit. Come on now. Now the road to the Super Bowl now comes through South Philadelphia. Safe to say, Eagles fans, is we going back? Is we going to win it this year? Go Birds. Of course, you're in the smoke room, a.k.a. the Laker Lounge. I'm a diehard Laker fan. My bad, y'all. I wanted to cover some NBA, but I just got off work a couple hours ago, and I didn't get a chance to tune into no games. But when I do get chances to tune into them games and watch them games, I will be covering them games. I'll actually be giving responses to other sportscasters' hot takes because sometimes they see things how I see things. Let's talk about Angel Reese. Angel Reese, what are you doing? What are you doing? At the rate you're going, young lady, you're going to destroy your brand. And you worked hard to build that brand. Word of wisdom, Angel Reese. And I'm only saying this because I'm a little older than you. I'm an old head to you. My bad, y'all. It's my cat. Say hi, Blitzy. Just Blitz. What you're doing, you're slowly hurting yourself. It was a picture that was posted that was quickly took down off your Instagram. and it caused the uproar. You don't want to be looked at and classified a certain way. So you need to carry yourself a certain way. You're a role model. There's little girls out there that's looking up to Angel Reese and say, Mommy, I want to be just like that. Mommy, I want to be like her. I want to be able to play basketball. I want to be able to do great things like that young lady. But it's on you to maintain this status, because companies see and watch everything. Now that you're in the public spotlight, you got to carry yourself a certain way. And you're a WNBA player. Do you know how many eyes is on you? And I get it. Instagram is your personal social media. But when you're in the public eye, nothing is no more personal for you. Like, you got to be wary of what you're doing, who you with, and what you're posting, because things can hurt your brand. I'm a big Ja Morant fan. Look at Ja Morant. He was pegged to be the face of the NBA. Then all them little gun situations start popping off. And what happened? He started losing his bag. Angel, don't lose your bag, youngin, because of what you're doing, who you're with. Let's go on to NFL versus NBA. Now, there's been a hot debate that NBA players can cross over to the NFL without a problem, and NFL players can cross over to the NBA without a problem. And I say, hogwash. I want to say something else on both sides, right? Respect each other's craft. I doubt many. There are NFLers that are talented, that were dual sports athletes in their youth or in high school. There are some outliers. You had your Julius Peppers, your Ronald Currys, your Terrell Pryors. Now, I do think, for the most part, an NFL quarterback can probably be a pretty good point guard in the NBA. They're about point guard size, 6'1", 6'2". Example, like I just said, Terrell Pryor. He's from Pennsylvania, 6'5". He was a quarterback in the NFL, and I got a chance to watch him while in high school and in college. He was a pretty good two guard. Ronald Curry, quarterback, and in college, point guard on UNC. Also, Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner. He went on to win a Heisman and chose the NBA over the NFL. We do have outliers, right? But for the most part, I don't really see it happening. Is there anybody that can, in the NFL, that can go play center in the NBA? The rules in the NBA aren't built for NFL players, because now conditioning comes into it. NBA players is conditioned to constantly run for 48 minutes, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Granted, an NFL game is longer, but an NFL game also has TV timeouts. NBA games have TV timeouts, but you also have a play clock in the NFL where for about a minute, well, play clock 40 seconds. So we'll round that up to a minute. You're not doing nothing. You're catching your breath. Only person talking is the quarterback. Quarterback going to play. The huddle. He calls the play. Y'all run the play. Now, if it's a running play, wide receivers, do you got to do a lot of blocking unless it's down way, 20, 30 yards downfield? And even then, that's a little love tap. So a running back either make a cut or get in the end zone. So, and then with NBA players, I'm just not going to rag on NFL. NBA players, let's be honest, it's few of y'all that can switch over to the NFL. You need a different, you need a different type of body tone to be in the NFL. LeBron James will go to NFL and be a tight end all day long. I don't see. Somebody said, I believe it was Keyshawn Johnson. Keyshawn Johnson on Speak the other day, right? And he made the valid point. What position is Shaq going to play in the NFL? And Paul Pierce was like, he could play the offensive line. Shaq got bad feet. You need footwork to play in the NFL. A lot of basketball players don't have tremendous footwork. You have to be taught footwork. Some basketball players wait till they get to the NBA and then try to work on their footwork. And that ain't gonna work. Football players train their whole life working on footwork. It's technique. Some people just think football is a sport where you just hit people. No, it's more thinking involved in football than basketball. Yeah, I know. Because I've played high school football. I've played basketball also. Some people are like, you got to have a good basketball IQ. It's a thinking man's game. Not really. If you look at every basketball offense, it's all the same. It's either you're running some variation of the triangle offense or you're running some variation of the 7 seconds and less pick and roll Phoenix Suns offense. You don't see too many people running the Princeton backdoor offense anymore. You don't see a lot of people doing 1-4 flat ISOs or drawing up plays. When you look at the NFL, you got to think about everything a quarterback has to do in less than 40 seconds. Calling the play alone might take 20 to 25 seconds. Mind you, I told you I played football. So even though I only played in high school, and I'll give you just something brief. I played quarterback. So let's say I go in the huddle. Now in high school, you got to run to the sidelines to your coach and get the play. In the pros, you got a headset. So think about it. I got to run to the sideline, get the play from the coach, go back in the huddle. Then I'll get in the huddle, slide out right, sprint right, pass on 3 with an option. Slide out right, Mustang option. So I just called 2 plays, right? So now when I get to the line of scrimmage, I have to identify the Mike linebacker, which means slide the protection this way. Have to look at the defense, read the defense to see what defense they're in and to see if that first play I said slide out right, sprint right pass is compatible to that. So if a team was to play cover 2 high safeties, that play wouldn't work. So I got to be able to identify that. Then I would go, and you heard me say option, slide out right, Mustang option. So now I got to notify everybody, those other 10 guys, that I'm switching the play to the second play. And let's say code name Pink Ranger. So once Pink Ranger. So let's say the defense now notices, hold up, he just said something crazy. Line shifted. So now what if they shift? See, it's a lot of things that go with it. And that's just pre-snap. Post-snap, gotta scan the fit. Basketball, you don't have to have eyes in the back of your head. You basically know them other four guys on the court that's on your team, what they like to do and what they're supposed to do. Same thing with football. But we as athletes cannot knock each other's sport because it takes a tremendous skill to play both sports. Yeah, you might be good in both sports, but are you a pro in both sports? Can you be a pro in both sports? Not too many has. All right. And now, Dion, Colorado State to the Cowboys. I bet Cowboy fans will love it. But Prime already said only way I would consider going to the pros if I could coach my boys. Plural, my boys. Right? Everybody know my boys is Shador and Shiloh. But what if Dion, when Dion said my boys, you do know he considered Travis Hunter a child of his. What if he's talking about all three? But we just going to leave it at Shador and Shiloh. The Cowboys gave Dak all that money. How would they pull it off? I did my research. There's a way. Here's a way. We already know that the Tennessee Titans got the first pick, Cleveland second, G-Men third. How do you leapfrog the G-Men to get to number 2? Because it's a crapshoot right now with the Titans. Will Levis is only going into year 3. Are you sure you want to give up on your third year quarterback who is only a second-round draft pick, not even a first-round, but a second-round draft pick? So his contract ain't even as high as his draft mate's contract. He's still on his rookie scale. Y'all devoid of talent. Tennessee is devoid of talent. So Tennessee might go ahead and get Travis 1. So there leaves a chance for 2 and 3 to be the quarterbacks. In order for Dallas to get the quarterback they want, to get the coach they want, this is what has to happen. Dallas owns the 12th pick in this year's draft. So they would have to give up that number 12 pick, a second-round draft pick, and trade Dak to Cleveland for the number 2 pick. How would that work? I mean, because, of course, Shiloh is going to be there day 2, day 3. But if you look at Shiloh's numbers, Shiloh's a damn good player. Shiloh just got the injury bug. Shiloh is the player where he may not even get drafted. You can get him as an undrafted free agent, bring him into camp. That's how Dallas can get Shador. They would have to do an overhaul. Now, is it worth it? Yeah. For Dallas, it is. Why? Because Dallas still harps on those championships from 30 years ago. Think about it. Bringing in Prime, someone who helped bring home one of those 3 championships. Now it's like, okay, you have someone in the building that these players can really, really relate to. And you hear the naysayers saying, well, Prime never coached in the NFL. We're talking about the greatest cornerback of all time. He's been in the NFL locker room for 18 years. So you mean to tell me in his 18 years of being inside the NFL locker room as a player, you think he can't coach? Prime can tell these cats how to get what they want. Like, look, youngin, you try and get that bag, this what you gonna need to do, partner. Look what he did for them college kids. You want to get to this bag? I can get you there. Why do you think every kid is lined up to play for Prime? 2 reasons. He can help you get a bag, and he can help propel you to the next level if you're good enough. So in the pros, yeah, there's no transfer portal in the pros, but every year it's free agency. Look, youngin, I like you. I'm going to holler at Jerry for you. He can't give you that bag they going to give you. Maybe a little less. But I can guarantee you Prime going to make sure you get it on the back end and we got a chance to win some championships. Prime is the type, he could show these young men like, listen, I had that bravado just like y'all. But you got to walk it how you talk it. Prime is going to set the tone. Prime can take those young men and turn them into grown men. Who better than Prime to do it? Only thing I would like to see Prime do, if Prime do decide to leave Colorado and go to Dallas, because he might be playing Dallas to get a bigger bag out of Colorado because they were supposed to be working on an extension, baby. And they playing funny with the money. You know, they leaving the door open for Dallas to snatch Prime. But at the same time, Prime would be like, look, think about it. He just got that quarterback to come over. You think that quarterback gonna stay if Prime go? No. But in my humblest opinion, I don't think Prime's gonna go to Dallas. And if he does go to Dallas, what a hell of a steal, Cowboys. But it's gonna take a lot to get Prime in Dallas. Is that something y'all want to do? Because that sounds like a pretty sweet trade. The number 12 pick, a second round pick, and that. But what if Cleveland be like, we know who you want. We need a whole overhaul. Is that something that Jerry's willing to do? I mean, if he want Prime as his coach, he's going to have to. But then Prime, as a coach, going to be like, bro, you giving up too much. If you can't get it by a different means, then it ain't it. But anyway, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Smoke Room Sports Talk. We're going to be back tomorrow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend. Till then, I'll let your boy.